In the heart of the jungle, where sunlight touched every leaf with gold, lived Garci, the noble lion, and Piruf. They were more than friends. They were family. Their days were spent in perfect peace, Garci resting in his strength while Piruf brought laughter. In this beautiful home, their deep and trusting bond was recognized as the jungle's greatest and powerful strength. But such perfect peace, built on deep love and shared life, is often a target for disruption. Their affection for each other and their beautiful home was known throughout the forest, yet this calm was shattered without warning. One day, a chilling, immense shadow swept across the canopy, instantly stealing the warmth and vibrancy from the jungle's colors. A strange, menacing disturbance had arrived, a clear and present danger that threatened the delicate, precious balance they worked so hard to maintain and protect. The unsettling calm was instantly shattered. The shadow's presence was confirmed by a fierce crash, forcing Garci to awaken his protective instincts. He reared up, his powerful roar shaking the very trees, ready to face the unseen enemy with brute force. But Piruf, desperate to avoid a war, pleaded for calm. The monkey feared that Garci's path of confrontation would only deepen the shadows and divide the very protectors the jungle needed most. The source of the threat was soon made clear. The mysterious Shadow Tribe was actively blocking the life-giving river, choking the jungle's vital flow. Seeing this destructive work, Garci dismissed his friend's warnings, his instinct demanding immediate confrontation. He fixed his focus entirely on the fight, refusing to see any other solution. In that moment of division, the loving connection between the two friends began to flicker, threatened by their conflicting beliefs on how to save their home. Confronted with Garci's unwavering resolve to fight, Piruf realized he stood alone. With silent, sorrowful determination, the agile friend turned his back on the escalating conflict, choosing instead the lonely path of seeking wisdom deep within the woods. He fled into the vast canopy, leaving the powerful protector behind. Though Garci felt a quick, poignant flicker of regret, the lion quickly hardened his heart, believing the path of force was the only action. Leaving their irreplaceable bond hanging by the smallest, most fragile of threads. Piruf's urgent, critical journey led him deeper into the unexplored woods, seeking the guidance only the jungle's oldest, most powerful magic could provide. Guided faithfully by the tiny, radiant Lumi, he navigated treacherous terrain, struggling slightly as he crossed a wobbly bridge over a misty ravine. Yet, he pressed on, driven by the unwavering belief that a better answer existed than a battle, risking everything to find a true, peaceful solution before it was too late. Finally, after a perilous journey, the little messenger burst into the clearing. Before him stood the ancient heart tree, the true, mystical core of the jungle's very spirit. Its massive roots pulsed with a magical, ethereal blue-green light, beautifully reflected in the still pool nearby. Bathed in this powerful, sacred glow, Piruf approached the immense trunk with deep reverence, feeling the weight of his desperate duty lift, knowing he was finally ready to receive the vital wisdom hidden deep within the ancient wood. As Piruf connected deeply with the ancient tree, pressing his hand upon the bark, a powerful, sacred wave of ethereal energy radiated outward from the core. The majestic heart tree responded by instantly revealing its profound secret. Glowing, stylized pictograms began to emerge and swirl across the massive trunk, illustrating a crucial, single truth. The powerful images depicted the lion and the monkey separated, surrounded entirely by deep darkness. The tree's wisdom warned that only when divided would the shadows truly prevail. With the vital, terrifying knowledge from the heart tree burning urgently in his mind, Piruf wasted no time. He immediately began his desperate, arduous race across the treacherous terrain back toward the dam. He must find Garci to share the ancient wisdom and repair their fragile bond before it was absolutely too late. But as he raced through the jungle, the rising chaos became unmistakably clear. The shadows of the Shadow Tribe were spreading faster than ever, and time was rapidly truly running out now for the jungle and its inhabitants. Back at the dam, Garci stood alone, a fierce figure silhouetted against the deepening twilight. He was consumed by anger and the noise of the Shadow Tribe's destructive work. Isolated and without Piruf's voice, he felt the heavy weight of the jungle's fate on his shoulders. His patience broke. Believing only force could prevail, he let out a thunderous roar, gathering his strength to launch his desperate attack on the enemy barricade. The moment Garci launched his reckless attack, he was immediately overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of the Shadow Tribe. Their forces quickly encircled the isolated lion. Just as Garci realized the terrifying trap, Piruf burst into the clearing. Seeing his friend in peril, the little monkey shouted the tree's vital warning, hoping Garci would hear his desperate plea. Despite the noise, Piruf's shout finally pierced Garci's anger and the battle. The lion understood the truth of the warning. He was isolated as the shadows wanted. With sudden clarity, Garci ceased his attack, recognizing their bond was their only strength. He moved to join Piruf. United in power, the lion and the monkey launched a coordinated counterattack. The Shadow Tribe had never anticipated a sudden, perfect change in strategy. Garci's raw strength, combined with Piruf's agility, created an unstoppable, unified force that instantly broke the lines. The Shadows, who thrive on fear and division, were thrown into disarray by this collaboration. Their ranks began to retreat, unable to withstand the power of true friendship. With the Shadow Tribe vanquished, the dam was safe. The ominous darkness that had plagued the jungle lifted, replaced by familiar light. Garci and Piruf stood together, breathing heavily but victorious. Their conflict was over, and the heart tree's wisdom had saved them. The jungle breathed a sigh of relief as the two friends looked at the repaired dam and each other. The final, comforting rays of sunlight illuminated the entire jungle. Garci and Piruf walked away from the dam, their friendship stronger and more vital than ever before. Garci finally accepted that true strength comes not from isolation, but from the diverse power of partnership and understanding. Their past conflict resolved, the fate of the entire jungle now rested securely on the powerful bond between the lion and the monkey, their eternal protectors of their home. The protectors realized the chilling shadow was cast not by a beast, but by the relentless march of man's ambition. A cold dread settled over the jungle as they saw the massive, earth-devouring machinery, its metallic jaws poised to rip into the heart of the life-giving dam. This was a threat, unlike any other, a force threatening to steal the very lifeblood of their home. The lion's mighty roar, meant to shake the jungle, met the fierce, deafening greed of the machines. It was a cry of warning, yet the intruders stood indifferent. Their engines roaring louder than the jungle's king. The monkey tried frantically to communicate the urgency, but they spoke different languages. One of vital life, the other of cold, callous intent. Knowing strength alone could not truly win this difficult, pivotal battle, the wise monkey sought subtle wisdom. Agile and quick, he moved like the jungle wind, melting into the dense jungle cover while the lion stood defiantly, distracting the looming threat. The monkey searched desperately for the critical crack in the enemy's metallic armor, maneuvering with great speed and silent purpose. The monkey's relentless, detailed search finally found its critical mark, a vital, exposed control panel. With a sharp, distinct jungle chirp, a secret, important code shared only between the two devoted, brave friends, he urgently signaled his dangerous, crucial discovery. The lion's steady, focused gaze snapped immediately from the powerful machines to the small, crucial point of light on the panel. In that charged, silent, decisive moment, their eyes locked, communicating a complete, unified plan, and solidifying their deep commitment right before the action, accepting the dangerous confrontation that lay ahead. The signal was the catalyst. With a guttural roar, the lion launched his body toward the colossal machinery, his terrifying charge serving as the ultimate distraction. Every eye, every lens, every focus of the mechanical threat swiveled toward the magnificent beast. This was the moment of sacrifice, the precious, razor-thin window of opportunity gifted to the monkey. The lion's defiance held the attention, while the monkey, small and fast, began his silent ascent toward the exposed control panel. The monkey reached the control panel. He was not armed with brute force, but with knowledge of the jungle's rhythms and the delicate balance of life. His swift hands worked with expert precision, not to destroy, but to disrupt the metallic giant. He targeted the core system, the internal brain controlling the machine's predatory movements, attempting to halt the relentless progress. The fate of the dam rested entirely on his nimble fingers. The massive machine reacted violently. As the monkey made the crucial systemic alteration, the colossal mechanism shrieked a piercing sound of metallic agony and catastrophic failure. Its powerful, destructive limbs began to flail and spasm uncontrollably, thrashing in wild, dangerous, random arcs, a clear, immediate danger to everything nearby. The lion, still bravely confronting the immediate threat, was forced to leap back, narrowly avoiding the sudden, erratic chaos. The entire forest floor shook violently beneath the unpredictable, failing attack. The machine's powerful movements finally slowed, grinding to a shuddering halt. It stood frozen, partially disabled, its metallic head bowed. The silence that followed was heavy, broken only by the lion's breathing. The monkey urgently raced back down to rejoin his friend. They exchanged a look not of celebration, but of cautious relief. They knew the battle was not over. The deadly threat remained, a very real one. This was merely a reprieve. With the colossal machine temporarily neutralized, the lion and the monkey wasted absolutely no time. They turned and sprinted hard away from the disabled, ominous giant and deeper into the dense, familiar foliage. Their focus was now entirely on the target, the monolithic hydroelectric dam, the true source of all this modern destruction. As they ran, the massive concrete structure loomed into sight through the trees, a gray wall cutting their natural world violently in two. The fate of the entire jungle now hinged on stopping that immense structure, and stopped. Before them rose the dam, a monumental fortress of concrete. The scale was overwhelming. Figures seemed insignificant next to its face. A vast reservoir stretched behind it, holding the river. This was the final barrier, straight up sheer face.